right, marching right ahead right now to its tune is the naval contingent. What you see on your television screen is the naval band saluting the dais. President accepting the salute. There you have the naval band marching ahead to its tune to the naval contingent of 144 young personnel. The contingent is been led by Lieutenant Karan Nagyar. All right, following it is the naval tableau as well. The Prime Minister, of course, explaining the march past to our two honored chief guests, and right following the naval band on your television screen would be the naval tableau that you see right behind, and the kind of sophisticated weaponry on the naval tableau on display. What we saw in Operation Sindoor, Sandeep, and maybe you can take a moment and explain to our viewers, was all tri-services coming in together with exceptional coordination. You had the Navy out in the high seas, while of course it was an operation where the Air Force might have dominated, but the importance of technology where the Navy comes into question with its sophisticated weaponry right now on display.
Absolutely, Preeti. You had the Indian Navy Carrier Strike Group led by the INS Vikrant positioned in the North Arabian Sea, and you can say that the Navy achieved victory without even firing a shot, because the Pakistan Navy was nowhere in sight. They had pulled into their ports and harbors. They were hiding literally in ports. They had relocated to Gwadar, a Chinese-operated port. They did not sail out to do battle or challenge the Indian Navy, and it was what the Indian Navy calls, the Pakistan Navy had been turned into a force in being, which means that it is a force that exists only for the purpose of existence. It doesn't do anything to challenge or alter the dynamics on the high seas. And this is the kind of overwhelming naval supremacy that the Indian Navy displayed during Operation Sindoor, and for which this is something that the Navy should take credit for, with firing.
You're speaking like the son of a naval officer.
Well, it is the seas are the ultimate destiny for India, and if you are to be a developed country, you cannot but not ignore the seas.
Fair point. Well, it was a tri-service effort where Operation Sindoor is concerned. And right now what you see on your television screen is the Air Force band marching ahead. A lot of the Operation Sindoor was engineered by the Indian Air Force. The Air Force band, following it is the Air Force marching contingent. We'll also witness a fly past. And this is the Operation Sindoor formation, Sandeep.
Absolutely. Just look
All right,
at
let's
them
go full screen with that. This is the Operation Sindoor formation.
And look at those jets go. I mean, we can see them, the jet trails racing across the sky in the Sindoor formation. You have the Su-30s, the Rafales, the MiG-29s, the Indian Air Force acknowledging the fact that offensive air power has finally arrived as an instrument of state power. This has always been on the table since 1947, Preeti, but this is the first time, 2025, that the government of the day chose to use offensive air power as an instrument of state power, as an instrument of coercion. And this spectacular fly past, the Operation Sindoor fly past by the Indian Air Force, shows that this is the Indian Air Force taking its claim to be the guardians of India's safe skies, India's security, India's national security, way beyond our borders. We have the ability to reshape security dynamics without even crossing the border, which is what the Indian Air Force showed during Operation Sindoor.
We're going to talk about that formation, but for a moment right now, what you see on your television screen, it is so very, very important to honor, these men, and that is the veteran tableau that just went by. And following the veteran tableau,
and now comes the tri-services tableau.
The tri-services tableau, and this is the might. It's all three services coming in together as a formidable force that defines our country, the glorious country that defends its borders, and the tri-services tableau pulling in.
National sovereignty. Victory through jointness embodies the transformation of India's
I want to bring in Air Marshal Sanjeev on this. Air Marshal Sanjeev, if you want to take a moment to speak on, Operation Sindoor. We just saw the formation of Operation Sindoor, the spearhead formation, but at the back of it, the effort of the tri-services where Operation Sindoor is concerned, and nothing else embodies that in what we see today on our television screen, sir.
Yeah, I was just covering before the parade began. The Operation Sindoor, the flypast we just went, coincided exactly at the place where the Air Force contingent was in front of the dais. So now to time it in seconds, and the aircraft getting airborne from 8 to 9 different bases to come and you go at precise the same timing requires. And more important is the symbolism. Those platforms which took part in this operation, actual operations, be it Rafales, MiG-29s, Su-30s and Jaguars, they formed a part of this formation and they flew around the Kartavya Path. The harmonious integration, which Sandeep was also covering, between the air defense assets of the three services in Operation Sindoor, by our own scientists and engineers, by our own innovations, wherein all of them, the guns from 1970s onwards to the latest weapons, integrated to ISCCS, I think so was a defining moment in this Operation Sindoor, and that is being celebrated when this tableau just left, because the jointness is the way ahead, and that is being projected here.
Well, what you see on your television screen is the Indian Coast Guard contingent marching ahead, saluting the dais. And very, very important, because viewers, if you look at it, it's not just one particular arm of India's defense services. It's all of them coming in together, which make the sovereignty and protect the country as for what it is. What you also saw was the veteran contingent, and it is so important to honor our veterans, because it's for them that we are today. And on our television screens right now, Sandeep, is the DRDO, long-range anti-ship missile?
Absolutely, Preeti. This is the tableau that I've been waiting for. That's the long-range anti-ship missile. It is a hypersonic weapon, which means it travels in excess of Mach 5 times the speed of sound. This is a naval project, and this configuration is of a naval coast battery, which means that this is positioned on the coastline. It can target ships 1,500 kilometers out at sea. It is designed to destroy large, high-value targets like aircraft carriers, destroyers, and ships that are heavily protected, heavily defended. And that is a project that's still in being tested as we speak. There would be a couple of more tests with the seeker and the warhead before it can be finally inducted into the Indian Navy by the end of this decade.
That is exceptional, Sandeep, what you speak of. And